Hi everyone. So my name is Allie. I'm a regional harm reduction worker with the AIDS Network. I've been working in the field of social work for about the past 10 years or more across Niagara, Hamilton, newly undeveloped Norfolk and Brant regions. My coworker Eno, who organized this event today with another bunch of amazing women, asked me to come and speak as well today. Yes, thank you so much for all your hard work. It's a great privilege to be here, so thank you so much. Shelter systems and social service organizations exist largely within a binary of gender and often provide support only so long as it may fit within existing systems. Acting with punitive responses to undesirable behavior determined through a largely Western colonial lens, often under the guise of anti-oppressive practice, individuals are regularly pushed into margins of these systems. In providing service to women, we must not only see the ways in which racism, colonialism, ethnocentrism permeate these systems which we operate. We must do so further with an understanding of how the intersectionality of gender is reinforced and represented. Often in Canada, we are bombarded with messages of tolerance, of multiculturalism, and of kindness, and the empathy of Canadians. These discourses diminish the experiences of those whose lives have been and continue to be impacted by racism, colonialism within Canada. Robin Maynard points out in a recent interview about her book, Policing Black Lives, that this perception of harmony and racial tolerance seems prized over the lived experiences of people. I question how we may engage in discourses about the Canadian experiences without first acknowledging the colonization, residential schooling systems, exploitation, and violences experienced by Black and Indigenous peoples in Canada. Cindy Baskin's work on anti-Native racism in Canadian social work highlights the ways in which the profession of social work has often been and continues to be intrusive, judgmental, controlling, and often harmful to Indigenous peoples. She also points out that the profession of social work is infused with dominant worldviews which are inherently oppressive and risk the perpetuation and colonization of women. As a white, cisgender, Canadian-born woman, I question if I was the right person to speak with you today. However, as assured by my colleague, I'm here today as a service provider, as a woman-identified person, and within the capacity of my current role as with the AIDS Network. That being the case, I still feel it is extremely important to acknowledge my own privilege and positionality, which has allowed me the experiences I have had to be in this role and to be speaking with you all today. I recognize that I exist and I participate within systems where my privilege continues to benefit me, while simultaneously impacting Indigenous women, Black women, women of color, trans women, and queer women. As a white woman, I have never experienced a situation where I was denied safety because of my whiteness. I have not been colonized or told that I was less than because of my race and status. When I turn on the television, there are people that look like me in positions of power being heard and making decisions about the others. I have the privilege of ignoring the systemic problem of racism and colonization that exists wherein Black women, Indigenous women, and women of color are being murdered, disenfranchised, criminalized, and oppressed, because that is not my experience. When I walk into an organization, I am likely met with someone who speaks the same language as me. I choose to use my privilege to acknowledge this, and having the choice to do so is also a privilege. Harm reduction work is greater than the practice of handing out safer drug and sex supplies. It is a philosophy and practice which recognizes in our society not all individuals experience the same access to safety. Working to reduce harms that individuals experience on both an individual and systemic level, and deconstructing the systems which work to maintain these inequalities is an extremely important part of my work. We must rethink the way our language and concepts about who is the other and what is helping others. Instead, we must highlight the systems which create inequality and define who that other is, the bias that this creates, and what and who we consider to be the norm at any given time and in every interaction. We must recognize that charity is top-down and that resistance work needs to challenge this in order to align ourselves from the bottom up together. Hamilton has many organizations that provide a wide variety of supports to women within the Hamilton community, many of whom are here today. Willow's Place provides a safe drop-in space for women. Counseling services exist across organizations. The Violence Against Women sector focuses on the predominance of gender-based violence and its prevalence within the Hamilton community. The AIDS Network has programming specific to women-identified folks through both the HIV sector and through its harm reduction services. With issues of trauma disproportionately impacting women and LGBTQ2S+ communities, it is important that we have services to address such issues specifically, as well as to tie them into larger systems of patriarchy that continue to impact women, non-binary folks, trans people, and also men through dangerous messages of hypermasculinity and the devaluing of others as less than. It is also critical that these services are representative and relevant to the communities with which they work, and to be actively working toward resisting oppressive systems. This is an extremely tumultuous time in all of our histories. It brings for many the realization that we have not moved so far from a history as some of us had hoped or that we choose to believe. But instead, we are now forced to acknowledge that the history of racism and colonialization, of oppressive systems and institutions are not in fact history at all. They are ongoing and constantly reinforced and are felt more deeply to some than to others. These ideals and experiences are not new to those who have never stopped feeling the pain of colonization, of overt, systemic, institutional, and sometimes hidden racism, and those who have never stopped feeling marginalized. I urge those in positions of power to work to uplift and rally around those voices who have gone unheard and continue to be marginalized and treated as secondary or invisible altogether. Use your power to stand with those whose power continues to be stripped and devalued, to support all women. I recognize that many women work within service-providing agencies. They often feel disempowered through oppressive hierarchies, through poor funding, through unrealistic expectations, and through experiences of trauma and isolation. Please know that the work that you do is of value. You are important and you deserve the same kindness that you provide every day. And for everyone here today, please be kind to each other and be kind to yourself. Your experiences are important and hold endless value. Power is not fixed, it is fluid, and it shifts with every interaction and within every space. Because of this, change is possible, and your voice deserves to be at the forefront of that change. Thank you so much for allowing me the time and space to be heard today. I know I've said a lot of things, but if you'd like to talk further, you can reach me through the AIDS Network contact. Thank you.